Hey, so welcome, and we're so excited to have you, Laurine.
Thank you.
Everybody, this is Laurine Pisarri, and Laurine and I go back a number of years. We met each other through the Women's Rights Information Center in Inglewood
Right.
and have become colleagues and friends since then over the years. And I invite Laurine to my classes to talk about stress management because that's one of the areas that she's a real expert in. And so I'm really delighted to share her with you today. So Laurine, why don't you introduce yourselves to
Thank you
the students?
to
Yeah.
the class. Hi, how are you, everybody? Yeah, I'm a life coach. I've been doing this for about 12 years in private practice. I'm a hypno coach, NLP practitioner, meditation instructor, which actually has turned out to be extremely helpful in all the work that I've done. I coach all kinds of people from all walks of life. And the one common denominator we all have is stress. And the question is, how do we manage that? And, first you have to identify what stress is. And it really is when a change is thrown into your world and you need to react to it. You need to adapt to it and work through it. Now, how do you do that? You also, even to jump on at this moment, to recognize how the body is such a key factor in all the responses that we experience. I mean, it doesn't matter if you've just been thrown a project that you need to have done in like ridiculously no time, to something extreme like there's a wild animal chasing you down the street, or your life has just been threatened, or you just have a reaction to another person. The body has an enormous reaction to it. Our breath becomes shallow, our heart rate increases, our blood pressure goes up. What else happens? Then it can even progress, as we know, into headaches and stomach aches and all that kind of stuff. So what is it that we can do to help ourselves? And there's quite a lot we can do. That's the good news. The first thing we can do is, once we start to recognize those things, like, oh my gosh, my chest is, feeling a little tight, or my rapid heartbeat. We're not always aware of our shallow breathing. That's the one thing that kind of gets in under the wire, because we're too busy thinking. Our mind is going a million miles an hour. And look at how I'm talking. I'm getting a little faster. So therefore, the breath isn't really coming in. So the best thing to do in that moment is to recognize it and try and slow it down and breathe and just kind of take a moment. Taking a breath. I did a study on smoke cessation, about people trying to quit their smoking. And we learned that the number one thing of most enjoyable part of the smoking was that first puff, which really translates to taking a deep breath. Of course, the nicotine has another story, but the reaction of what the body needs is breathing. It's breathing. That's the bottom line. So, very quick thing that you can do is to use the word stop. Just stop. You realize that you are reacting. Someone's just dropped a bomb on your lap. You've got a limited amount of time, whatever. Or perhaps there's a pandemic going on in the world and now you're working from home. Interesting new things to deal with, right? Stop is a great one. You stop and you smile, because the reaction of the chemicals released from your body when you smile starts to affect. And take that moment to take a smile, then take in 3 breaths if you can get it. Now, people, if you're around people, they will start to think, oh, they're thinking of something. What's on their mind? Instead of, wow, they're flipping out. So you're smiling. That means you're in control, especially if your team is looking at you, your boss is looking at you. They just threw something at you. You're like, okay, I'm breathing. Take a check of your body. Yep, heart's a little rapid. Yep, okay. You can even start tapping a little bit on the thymus gland, because it starts to shrink when we are stressed. You can do like a, nonchalant, I'm thinking. And then just kind of make a mental decision that you're going to proceed calmly, maybe with some compassion, maybe like some awareness. Some mindfulness, very key word these days, very important thing to do, to be aware of the moment. So just that very simple thing, stop, S-T-O-P, smile, take inventory on the body, right? Breathe. And what was the last one? Oh, make that decision of proceeding with compassion. Whatever words that resonate for you. This is a great little trick that you can use anywhere from at home, the grocery store, the conference room, whatever scenario you are in. You know, you're having a really important business Zoom call with your boss, and maybe a kid runs in the background, or there's a dog barking, or the cat starts to meow, and you're like, what do I do? Just smile through it, because it's life. It's life. The boss and anybody else you're talking to has the same stuff going on in their house. So, and we're all in lockdown. So, right, that's a whole new world that we're in. What else can we do? What else can we do? Counting backwards. If you can catch yourself for a moment, start counting backwards or forwards, counting. What this does is it starts to regulate you. It starts to slow you down. It starts to help you focus just by counting. You know, someone used to say, oh, but you better be out of here by the count of 10. We might remember that from childhood, right? So some anxiety might have kicked in at that moment. But we can reverse engineer any of these things and use them to our advantage. So counting just might bring us down and just start us to slow it down. Also, self-talk. This is huge. This is neurolinguistic programming, so that if you say things out loud, your body is going to respond to what you're saying, as it already is when you're thinking. So if you can help it by speaking, like, I'm safe, that's an enormous one. I'm safe, I'm safe, I'm safe. Another one, I'll figure this out, or we will figure this out. Everything's going to be okay. Everything is okay. Whatever mantra really works for you, whatever resonates for you, use that language. Everything's going to be okay. If you want to start, you know, rubbing your arms, giving yourself a little self-massage, as you would anybody that you care for, like, hey, how you doing? You having a good day? You know, and it's, what does this do? It starts to stimulate all the cells and all the nerves in your arms and all that great stuff that's in there. And it starts to calm things down. Another great one, especially if we get on what I call that mouse wheel of thought. We can't get off that mouse wheel because we're trying to problem solve, and we're on and we're on and we're on. This is a very fun, cute thing you can do. You can say, where is my butt? Right?
Yeah.
Where is my butt? Crazy, right? This kind of snaps you out of what you're doing, because most chances you're sitting in one place and you're going round and round and round, and you've got to change your perspective. You got to change your own physical geography. Get up and move around. Change what you're looking at, because if you're going to come up with the same ideas, the same problem solving, the same aggravations, if you are still on this little mouse wheel looking at the same stuff. Get up, go to a window if you've got a window, or you put on a screensaver or something. But perhaps I'm looking right now towards my window, and I'm looking out, and what do I see? Oh, bird. Wow, bird. What might that inspire? Bird's eye view of this situation. Okay, well, how might I see this if I could see the whole thing laid out in front of me, right? What other perspective? Wow, a powerful bird is out there. Eagles are powerful. Eagles are amazing. They're focused. How can I focus on this a little bit differently? So use whatever inspires you. Where's my butt? Oh yeah. Use my body. Use the body. Let the body help you, because your minds are already influencing the body. So you've got your own mouse wheel going on just by what you're dealing with. So help the body. Get up, move around. Where's my butt? Oh yeah, it's in that chair again. Go to the window, go get a glass of water, walk outside. Incorporate nature at any time that you can. It is very healing. It is very, actually, it can almost be hypnotic, because you can just kind of get lost in the hypnosis of a breeze, of the sky, you know. We've seen a lot of those things online where someone says, stare at this rain and the branch and the leaves for 30 seconds and you'll calm down. Well, yeah, kind of works that way. Yeah. So if you have the opportunity to be able to look at out a window, use it. Absolutely, positively, use it. What else can we do? Self-talk, of course, massaging, right? Thought stopping. There's a bunch of little things you can do. Again, you can say, stop, stop, stop. Okay. What's another way that I can look at this? What might be my false assumption right now? Because we can take a tiny bit of truth and blow it up and make an enormous assumption that's extremely logical and fits the scenario very nicely, but it blows us into a different situation, and then the stress begins and the body reacts, and here we go, off to the races.
I love thought stopping. That's one of my favorites. When your mind is racing and you just have that stop.
Right?
And I always think about it like a redirect. Like once I say stop, it's very likely to just start again. But I say, okay, what else can I think about? That's why I think your thought about sort of making an association with something, like with that bird, like what does that bird have to do with it, is a sort of a game that you're putting your mind on that's a different track than its current track. That's really cool. I love thought stopping.
Yep, that's a great one. See, we have to realize we're far more powerful than we realize, you know, and we have a lot more control than we really even comprehend. And our body is actually reacting to our thoughts and our emotions, the things we think and the things that we say. And realizing that, we have to be aware of our own output and how are we affecting those around us. You know, we know when someone walks into a room and they're angry. Oh, words don't have to be expressed. Any team knows who's angry. And what happens? Everybody starts to step back. There's a little bit of discomfort. And then the assumptions start. Why is that person angry? What did I do? Oh, the report was a little wrong. Or they were kind of mad at me yesterday. So they start to internalize. So now the entire team is stressed because one person is not aware of themselves. So being aware of yourself is really, really important. And any mindfulness tools will really be very, very helpful. Just keep yourself in check and take that deep breath. You know, go for the drink of water, a cup of coffee, go into the washroom, take that, 3 deep breaths. Okay, all right, relax. Everything's going to be okay. I'm safe. Then start to understand. This is a great actually thing we're doing. You just triggered a thought of mine to re-engineer what may have just happened to you. Someone came in and said something. Was there noise in the room? What was triggered in you? Was it because of the way something was said, how it was presented, who presented it? Are you reacting to the people or the person? And what is it that's triggering you? And then you start to realize basically what buttons are being pushed. That's like the simple way of saying it. What buttons are being pushed right here? And that's based on your own stuff. So you got to be then you can be more self-aware when you realize, oh, it might be my own, and then start to, break it down. But if you can go back and re-engineer a situation to help yourself remain calm, start to be aware, we're in a noisy situation. I got to get myself to a calmer area. And you can start to design things for yourself. If you're going to present something with someone, set the scene for yourself so that you feel supported. Maybe it's calm, maybe it's lighting, maybe it's who's in the room, and prepare yourself if there are people who do trigger you. Just realize, okay, that's fine. That person triggers me. I get it. It's nothing personal. It's just something I'll work through, and start to use your tools on self-awareness, mindfulness, stay in the moment. Another thing that's important to understand about stress, and this is what starts to take the power away from the stress, is most of it comes from the past, the stuff that we can't do anything about, but we run that little movie in our head because we kind of want to have a better outcome. And we kind of think if we keep running that movie over and over again, it might end differently, and it never does. And then the other part of the largest area of stress is the future. Fear of the future, fear of not measuring up, fear of not making the deadline, fear of something going wrong, fear. And that's like the most detrimental of the stress, is the fear of what we can't control. So the best thing to do in those situations is Bring yourself back to the moment and deal with what's going on right now, telling yourself these skills that we just talked about. Everything's going to be fine. I'll figure it out. I'll handle one thing at a time. That's helpful because we all multitask. The phones are ringing. You know, there's a computer, something. There's another call coming in on the portal. You got something on FaceTime. You got Zoom coming in. You got stuff going on. And then you, of course, you know, we'll throw in a pandemic and you've got to work from home and, you know, try and stay in the moment. For instance, I was very stressed right before this call, but I'm now focused on what we're doing. And I've actually calmed myself down. I've used my own voice by slowing it down, lowering the tone. I've smiled. In demonstrating these few things, it's like, actually, that's kind of nice. And I've helped myself. Now, the problems are still out there. I'll have to deal with them. Situations will still arise. Things will still be thrown at us. But if we can check in with these little bit of things that we can do for ourselves, we can release the stress and work towards a more calm existence in a crazy world.
So Laurine, do you, you mentioned mindfulness practices, and we talked about, in class, we've talked about contemplative practices, and there's many different kinds. Would you be able to share a little brief one with us?
Well, you know what's prompting me is an exercise of a sort of a meditation, but it kind of encapsulates everything and keeps you in the moment. Just remember, in the moment is mindfulness. You know, it's very, very simple. Who do I want to be in this moment? Great question. Okay, somebody's flipping me out. I'm overreacting, possibly. Slow it all down, do the stop and say, who do I want to be in this moment? Am I in a leadership position? Am I in a management position? Or am I a team leader? Or do I want to be noticed by my boss? Who do I want to be in this moment? I may be enraged by what's going on. I might be fearful. But in this moment, who do I want to be? That's a great thing across the board, not just in the workforce. As a parent, as a human being, as someone in the workforce, who do I want to be in this moment, right? And when stress is actually getting the worst of you, it's a great time to stop, close your eyes, sit in a chair, do the breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth, and just notice in the moment that when you breathe in through the nose, the air is kind of cool, isn't it? And when it releases through the mouth, the air is warm. Interesting. You're in the moment. And as you breathe in, you relax the muscles of the body. You allow yourself to just sink into the chair and become heavy. And your arms get a little heavier. And your legs are a little heavier. And your feet just want to melt right into the floor. And as you breathe in, you're noticing your heart rate. Ooh, it's kind of nice. You might want to put your hand on your chest, or you just might want to notice. Breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. You're in the moment. The past is gone. The future is not happening yet. We'll deal with what's going on right now. As you relax the muscles in your face, with each breath in and each breath out, loosening up the joint of your jaw, relaxing the teeth, breathing in and releasing the exhale through your mouth. And allow your shoulders to just drop and become heavy. And allow the oxygen to just go in through your nose and fill your lungs. Maybe allow your lungs to fill up a little further than you're used to. Oh, wow, there's a little more room in there. I've never realized that. There's lots of room for oxygen. And release. Then you can put your hand on your stomach and just notice that tension gets held there. You can even rub that area, just with intention. We're relaxing this body, breathing in, holding your air for the moment, and releasing the oxygen through your mouth. And allow this calm energy that you're creating with breathing and being in the moment to relax the rest of your body, right into your hips, into your thighs. And now just notice the hands. Allow them to relax on the lap. Breathing in, breathing out. Becoming a little heavier in the chair. Oh, yeah. Now, coming back to a little bit more of awareness. Opening your eyes when you feel like it. Wow, right? What did that take, like 2 minutes? Right?
Yeah,
Powerful.
that's so good.
Powerful and easy.
I'm like feeling like, yes. Thank you.
Right. So these simple things, being aware of your body and compassionate to your body. Right? Checking in. How's my body doing? Oh, yep. Short of this breath. Heart rate's gone up. Maybe you had a little hot flash. That's the blood pressure going up. Breathe. Everything's going to be all right. I'm safe. I'll handle it. We'll figure it out. Smile. Taking a breath. Observe the body, right? Stop. Smile. Taking a breath. Observe the body. Proceed with compassion and non-judgment. Huge one. And start with self. Start with the self, not just the person that just dumped stress in your lap. Self. I can handle this. I've got what I need to do. Who do I want to be in this moment? I want to be in control. I want to be a good team leader. I want to be a good example. I want to set the tone for the office, my home. That's all right. We get stressed. It's a tremendous thing to forgive. Okay, that person just pushed my buttons. We'll let that go. They don't know that they just pushed my buttons. We'll just work through that. Right? So I'm keeping it really, really simple. There's just such simple things. So whatever resonates to the individual is what will be taken from this conversation.
Thank you so much, Laurine, for sharing your wisdom with us.
My
this
pleasure.
Is so timely, given all of the various stressors. But I really appreciate you sharing this with the class. And what's kind of your one thing that you invite them to do?
You know what? Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. And you know what? This too shall pass. It really will. And you've got what it takes to do what you need to do. You've had the training. You've had the education. You're getting the experience, because life will always throw experience at you. So it really is up to you how you want to react to it all. That's your choice. That's who you create. That's how you create who you are.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Laurine.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you so much. This was tremendous fun, and I hope it was helpful.
Great.